Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Tadowski's Shelter. Today we're going to discuss satellites. No, not SpaceX and Elon, although that may not be a bad idea for a different type of channel. But no, the newly implemented feature in Last Shelter that requires you to build satellites, get boosts, and then launch them into space to somehow grant you special magical space powers to your troops to fight better in battles. We will break down the different screens of the satellite center and explain what they mean, what to do, and how to get those satellites into space for your troops. Something that you don't have to travel to space for is to like and subscribe to the channel for more LSS content, lives, ASC coverage coming up, and, well, to escape reality and try to keep your sanity while playing Last Shelter. But without further ado, let's get into it. The Satellite Center is a new building that you can build. The building is a large 3x3 space in your base, and it is quite similar to a combination of other buildings you already have established. This structure does not require upgrading, and thank God, because I saw some people begging for more titanium. Thankfully, this structure is fairly easy to understand, and the premise will pretty much just require you to work in left to right format. So let's start with the furthest left option and head into the automated factory. Inside the factory, we will see a lot of confusing things. There are more options here than at a restaurant buffet. At the top left, we will see two things. The first is the currency that is going to be used inside of the factory, known as beta coins. You will gain coins from collecting materials made here and from sending bots out to help your other commanders. These coins will be used inside of the store, which you will find at the top right of the screen. Below the coins, you will see a robot symbol, which will tell you how many factory bots you currently have. The top right has the store option, but below this, you will have access to looking at your friends list and going to the factories if you want. This can assist you in assigning bots to friends without them having to actually request them, which we will get into shortly. But before we get into the main screen, I want to point out the hidden menu that is not obvious at first glance. To the left of the screen, you will see a small arrow. If you click on this arrow, the menu will slide open. This menu is pretty important to note. It is the bot menu. At the top of the slide out menu, you will see how many bots you have that are idle, meaning they're not helping anyone. You will also see how many are working or assigned and how many rewards haven't been claimed yet, also known as coins you haven't collected. Below this, you will see all the bots that you have. At this moment, you can only have a total of 5 bots. 1 for yourself and 4 that you can send out to other commanders so that you can help them build materials faster and get yourself some coins to boot. At the making of this video, the cost to build a bot is 50 coins. Each bot that you can send out will have 3 uses before they have to be rebuilt. Each bot will tell you where it's currently assigned and how much longer it has until it completes its current assignment. An assigned bot will be busy for a total of 8 hours. The main screen is how you will build solar panels. The more bots you have assigned in the factory, the faster you can build them. Currently, there are a total of 6 slots that can hold a total of 6 bots at any given time. You can unlock more slots with saved up coin, but you can have 5 other commanders assign bots to your factory so that you can build the panels faster. Solar panels are the base resource you will use to build satellites that will be sent out into orbit. Now, before we take off from this screen, let's take a quick look at the coin store. Inside, you will have options to buy materials for various things. This can be seen as similar to the mech store, where you can use USBs to buy certain items that can help upgrade the quality of your mech. There are some items in here that will allow you to build better satellites that will grant different buffs, but we will get into this aspect shortly. Moving on. The next screen we are going to be looking at is the crafting screen. This screen is fairly simple to understand. These are the satellites that you can build. At first, you will only have options for 12 different satellites, but this will grow as you send more and more satellites into orbit and start upgrading them. But each troop type will have 4 satellites to choose from, and each satellite will have 4 different boosts that can be given to your troops. The plus side to this, the groups of 4 will all be the same, just with the troop type being the difference. For example, the first satellite you will see will have a setup like this. The Type 1 will have a tactical resistance and a might boost to the troop. The second type is going to have a tactical might and a resistance boost to the troops. The third type will have battlefield resistance, doomsday resistance, and a troop might boost. And the fourth type is going to have a battlefield might, doomsday might, and a fighter's resistance boost. These will continue throughout, with the only difference being the troop type. One will be for fighters, one will be for shooters, and one will be for vehicles. The thing to note here is that each group is going to be color coded, and this will play more into when you go send them into orbit, than meaning that there is one satellite that is stronger than another. Each type of satellite has great benefits, and to say that one is going to be better than another is frankly difficult to say. The way that this is set up is that each type has a benefit. So to say that the Type 4 is 100% better than the Type 1 is all going to depend on what you have your focus on and the type of gameplay you do. As you send more satellites into orbit, different types of satellites will start to show up for you to build, and that will require different components to make. Each group of satellites can only be assigned to specific orbits, and I know this all sounds confusing without the full context, but this should start to make more sense when we head over to the orbit screen. But for now, let's continue our journey from left to right. The next screen is probably going to be one of the easiest, and that is going to be this satellite depot. This is where you can see all the satellites that you have built and has not been sent out into orbit. This is a way to keep track of what you have already built and ready to go at any given moment. You will see three terms that may be confusing: comm satellites, mapping satellites, and navigation satellites. The only real difference between these three is going to be the troop type associated with it. For example, satellites for fighters are going to be considered comm satellites. Mapping satellites are going to be for shooters, and navigation satellites are going to be for vehicles. So do not let these terms intimidate you or confuse you. They do not have any other meaning besides that at this time. At the bottom of the depot, you can launch satellites, which will take you to the next screen that we're going to be discussing, or you can dismantle them, which will break down the satellites to give you components back so that you can make different satellites, which is going to lead us to our last screen, Control Center. The first time you open this, you'll be shown a planet with three options. Sadly, two of these are going to be grayed out and unable to be opened right now, but there is one that you can open, and that is going to be the low Earth orbit. The basic premise of this screen is that this is where you are going to assign satellites to be active. There are three orbits that you can use to place more satellites, and in order to open the next orbit, you must reach a level 60 of the previous orbit. This will make more sense as we start looking at assigning satellites and what to do with them afterwards. But for now, let's open up the low Earth orbit and see what we have to do from here. Once we are in the orbit screen, we will see a curve with 6 squares. Each square is going to be color coded, and at the top left, you will see the total level of the satellites in orbit here and how many are assigned. To assign a satellite, you will click on each individual box. Now, each color is going to represent something different in this screen particularly. The blue is going to be a navigation, the red is going to be comms, and the yellow is going to be for mapping, or to better understand, red comms is going to be for fighters, blue navigation is going to be for vehicles, and yellow mapping is going to be for shooters. The way to assign them is to click on the square, click on the satellite you wish to assign there, and click on launch. You can launch up to 6 different satellites, and if you click on each satellite, a new menu will pop up. Now, which type of satellite you assign in each one of these spots is going to be completely up to you, but you cannot have all fighter satellites in every single spot. Once you assign a satellite, you can click on it to get more information. If you tap on it, a new menu is going to open up. This pop-up will tell you what the satellite is, what level it currently is, and how much combat power it adds to your base. Below this are going to be 2 tabs. The first one will summarize what benefits it is actually giving you at this time. The other tab is going to be satellite upgrade. Opening this tab will allow you to upgrade the satellite so that you can get more benefits to your troops. Upgrading satellites will require using components, so make sure you have enough on hand. And this is where the level 60 orbit comes into play. You will unlock more orbits, meaning you can assign more satellites when all the satellites in the previous orbit add up to level 60 or above. You must upgrade the satellites you currently have in orbit in order to get more boosts for your base. Going back to the info tab at the bottom are two options: recycle and orbit change. Recycle will take the satellite out of orbit and dismantle it so that you can have your resources back, and orbit change means that you can reassign it to a different orbit you have a spot open for. As you upgrade the satellites, you'll be given more satellites you can build with different and better buffs for your troops, which you will be able to do in the craft menu. For example, the Star Vortex is the next level here, and they will require different types of components, including precision instruments, which you will be able to purchase in the coin store. And that's it. I know it's a lot to digest all at once, and it could be frustrating and confusing with all the various things you have in your base. But as I've stated before, this is where your base becomes yours, and you can fit it to your own playstyle. Just because someone may be the strongest base doesn't mean you can't beat them if you have a certain setup. You may not be the strongest, but if every buff you have focuses solely on vehicles, you could be beat all the time, but your vehicle, troops, and heroes are practically unstoppable, all because the focus of your base is on that one troop type. Now that's just an example, but I hope this helps clarify the new building for you. If there's any questions on the satellites, drop those in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe for more LSS content, lives, battles, and so much more. Thank you all again for your support. Remember to share the information, look out for each other, and most importantly, be safe out there.